This is going to be Lsat 93, Section 1, Passage 3. Passage A from a news article. Passage B is from UNESCO, a 1999 draft convention on the protection of underwater cultural heritage. Passage A. Passage B. So let's go and start with Passage B. It seems to be a guideline. Under cultural heritage, UCH means all traces of human existence that have been partially, totally, or periodically situated underwater for at least 100 years. So basically what that means, it has to be 100 years or more. We're in the year 2023, so we're communicating about 1923 and earlier. The first one, the protection of UCH is best achieved through a CITO, which is original site preservation, which should be considered as the first option. Accordingly, activists directed at UCH shall be authorized by competition authority of the concerned state only when they make significant contributions to knowledge, protection, and or enhance of UCH. So 1, we got protect. 2, the commercial exploitation of UCH for trade, sales, barter, or speculation is fundamentally incompatible with the protection and proper management of the UCH. No trade, sales, or barter. Activities directed at UCH shall not adversely impact UCH more than necessary for the objectives of the project. UCH not at fault. Most use non-destructive techniques and prospection and limited samples in preference to recover objects. If evacuation is necessary for the purpose of scientific studies, the method and technique used must be as non-destructive as possible and contribute to the preservation of the remains. So, in other words, do not destroy. Shall avoid unnecessary disturbance of human remains or venerated sites. No human foul. Shall be strictly regulated to ensure proper recording of historical, cultural, and archaeological information. Record detail. Public access to conclude activities relating to UCH that are non-intrusive, such as photography, should, where practicable, be encouraged. Allow photos and writing to take notes. So that was kind of Passage B. It's kind of like a guideline. So this is going to be Passage A. A North American company that found was what is believed to be the HMS Sussex during expedition in the Mediterranean from 1998 to 2001 has signed an agreement with the British government, with the owns the Success, to raise what may be historical richest sunken treasure and split the proceeds. So we got treasure ships, gold, what we can be considered from 90 to 01 British government. It's going to be raising money. The agreement is a legal breakthrough that could allow recovery of perhaps US 54 billion in gold coins lost with the Success in a storm of 1694. So 4 billion today, coins for the gold coin storms of 1694. A robot, sonar, with other technology, advanced gear have opened the deepest oceans to exploration and recovery. Government began asserting ownership over the sunken vessels. So robots governments are going to be used for the treasury recovery. But government often lacks money and skills to retrieve cultural riches. Until now, there have been no legal precedents for a private company to join with the government to salvage the government treasure. So government lacks money, no protection policy allow for what we consider in play. This agreement could end the days of freelance treasure hunting and allow nations to oversee the recovery of their lost fleets. So no more freelancer individuals, because the nation governments could be able to recover these artifacts. The company which is funding the venture agrees with British story that the ship carried coins Most likely gold worth $1 million in 1694. So we have the gold coins that are worth $1 million in 1694. The U.S. $4 billion figure is the coin theoretically valued if sold to collectors. So it's going to be worth $4 billion. Today's money, if it gets sold to the coin collectors. This agreement calls for archaeological integrity, a difficult technical feature as such death and a goal that critics of for-profit archaeological are likely to doubt. So discoverers are not honest because of the money that's involved. Many archaeologists abhor the sale of recovered artifacts, arguing that these inhibits scholarly analysis and public display. So archaeologists are against the sale of these recovered artifacts. This agreement, however, draws a distinction between different classes of artifacts, recognizing the cultural items have greater archaeological value than coins, which is to be sold to help pay for the project. So, in other words, the sales is going to support the recovery of the treasure and coins. So, for the first question here, we're going to have what's considered the following projects will be most clearly not fall within the scope of the provision specified in passage B. So basically, we'll look for this passage right here. The recovery of sunken ship in the 18th Spanish treasure fleet by freelance treasure hunters. That's a possibility. The recovery of the 19th century shipwreck of unknown origin in one of the Great Lakes. That's also a possibility. The recovery of underwater artifacts, ruins of a long submerged ancient city built in when sea levels were much lower than are today. That's definitely a yes, that these could all be under the guideline of passage B. The recovery of a cargo of private ownership merchant ship that sank in 1970 off the coast of Ireland. We have to remember that it needs to be 1923 and earlier, and 1970 doesn't fall in that category, because that's only the place about what you consider 50 years ago. So it has to be 100 years or more. So that's not going to be allowed. And the question is, does not fall. So we're going to choose that one. The recovery of the prehistoric cultural artifact recently uncovered by the damage of rotting of a major river. Yeah, that's definitely going to be allowed, but not to 1970 though. So let's see how we did. And we got that one correct. Moving on. Which one of the following is most strongly implied by passage A? So we're looking at this right here. A government private right in a ship that sank several centuries ago are not forfeited merely by not having salvaged the ship during the intervening time. That is kind of what they're displaying. That that the shipwrecks is going to have what you consider within policies, and doesn't mean that you give up the what you consider ownership because it happened a long time ago. Government have a legal obligation to ensure that the archaeological category effort to salvage or explore old shipwrecks. This wasn't really mentioned. It was kind of saying that the archaeologists have an integrity issue with being honest due to the money. Gold coins collected from old shipwrecks should not be regarded as archaeological significant cultural property if they can be used to fund the exploration and recovery of the shipwreck for scientific and cultural reasons. More of what I was thinking about this one, that the government's going to have what you consider not allowed, where you can be in a position to forfeit the your treasure, but just because it happened a long time ago. If neither the original owner of the sunken ship nor the legitimate of the owner still exists, the ownership of that ship dissolves the government under those, under whose laws it was really owned. Does not justify the ownership of the laws apply. Where there is no salvage agreement between the owner of a sunken ship and some other party, the freelance treasure hunters have a legal right to salvage the remains of the ship. So, no, they're actually trying to end the freelancer, so that's not going to work. So this is going to be better in A. That supports the overall passage. Ooh, sorry. Oh, no, cancel. Yep, and we got that one correct. Moving on to question 15. Which one of the following would, if true, strengthen the position of the draft convention B as well of the treaties for profit, archaeological, and passage A? So we're looking for something that's gonna strengthen passage B and also support the for profit A. So something dealing with money. Many archaeological sites requires visitors to pay a fee for the privilege of viewing the site firsthand. That's a possible yes. Selling artifacts that have substantial archaeological value encourage the looting of archaeological sites by non-scientists. That's actually what was mentioned with the integrity of the what you consider the architectures, because what they were communicating about, that the discoverers are not always honest due to money, so that actually works out. Most of the archaeological artifacts displayed in a major museum were contributed by private collectors. That really doesn't have anything to do with the profit or however the profit's being made as well. While non-scientists often work on archaeological sites, they are under the supervision of professional archaeologists. That doesn't really show anything about the profit. If anything, they're probably going to lose profit or money's not going to be made because now they're going to be under supervision. The excavation and recovery of valuable cargoes and artifacts from ships are almost always involved disturbing human remains. That would weaken the passage. So choice B is going to be better. Selling artifacts that have substantial archaeological value encourage the looting of archaeological sites by non-scientists, which was mentioned in the article. So if I were to do a quick look for it, I'll probably look for it in the last paragraph where I took my notes. It seems to be in the third sentence. The agreement calls for archaeological integrity, a difficult technical feat at such depth and goals that critique for profit archaeology are likely to doubt. So that's why we're going to be looking for this answer right here, which matches it. Passage B calls for each of the following policy regarding UCH except, so we're looking for passage B here. Encourage the public access to use for non-instruct activities. They allow that with pictures, forbidding the sales of UCH. They're actually communicating about selling it to recover the for the project good. Preserve UH situ, which means they preserve the original sites. That was mentioned. Restrict the removal of human remains from UCH. They were communicating about no foul play. So that is what you consider no foul play when you restrict it. By process of elimination, we got ourselves to choice E. Prohibit contract with private companies to explore UCH. That was actually kind of mentioned about the freelancers. So, and they're working on that right now. So by process elimination, we were able to get to this final answer. And we got it correct. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is a decision that plays a key role in both of the passages? So this is going to be question 17. So between shipwrecks and other types of UCH, no, they're kind of in the same agreement with that one. Between legal agreements and international conventions, no. Between monetary value and non-monetary value, that's what they were communicating about with the value of money, and they were having issues with it. So yeah, that's gonna be it right there. And we got that one correct. Moving on to question 18. Which one of the following statements is most appropriate in response to representing the company mentioned in passage A and the draft company passage B? So we'll look at something that was the most appropriate representing the company mentioned in passage A and B. And we're going to have to conclude that these C An archaeological project recovered 1,000 gold coins that are virtually identical and just to keep the representative sample for the museum.